Welcome to Goldcrest Valley for a guide too, with me, MrSealyp. The Massey Ferguson Serie 600 tractor range. We have without cab and we have with cab. They are, as my previous videos showed, if we go into manufacturers, not on the new Massey Ferguson logo but the old Massey Ferguson logo, once you've installed it, this is where it will be. And we go along to tractors, there we go. So the Serie 600 without cab and the Serie 600 with cab. 19,500, 19,800, not a lot of difference with or without cab. The tractors in essence are identical, they come in the same engine sizes and all the other options available. The difference is the cab. That's pretty much it. But with that comes something very, very nice that we've never had on console before, and we have now, which is brilliant. So, looking very quickly in here, we have our options: front loader attacher, yes or no. Engine setup, we've got a 675, which is 66 horsepower, 690, which is 75 horsepower, 698, which is 88 horsepower, 698T, which I assume is turbo, don't know, but it might be, which is 90 horsepower, and then the 699, which is 95 horsepower. Those are the 5 engine options available. And then wheel setup, you've got standard, you've got wide tyres, you've got narrow tyres, rear twins and 2-wheel drive. Designs, standard, with sunshade, forestry. Those are 3 options for design. So without further ado, let's have a look. So front row we've got without cab, rear or back row we've got with cab. We're going to start with the withouts. So we've got the 675, which is the smaller or the smallest engine size, 66 horsepower, standard wheels, nothing else on it. This is pretty much how it comes. Rear 3-point linkage, but no front 3-point linkage. Old tractors, they wouldn't necessarily need them or have had them or the machinery to put on them back then. I say back then makes it sound like such a long time ago. So jumping in, the engine sounds are great. Beacon, lights, we've got lights on or off, lots of options. And looking from the cab view, yeah, pretty basic. The little black attachment points here are for sunshades and various different bits of equipment that need to be added on as roofs, regardless. And as I did with the tracked version of these, it's nice, the exhaust smoke, the attention to detail. As I said before, it's all part of the Blacksheep Modding mod pack. 24 mods available in the Massey Ferguson old generation mod pack, and they are top quality mods. I mean, really, really top quality. Moving on, we have the 690. Now I've put the 690 with the front loader attachment and put the front loader on. That's the Massey Ferguson, what was it? MF80. That's the MF80 front loader attachment. Nicely done in the same colours, that same kind of matte colour. But the 690 is a 75 horsepower tractor. This one I've done with the wide tyres, so you've got standards there and wides. They are quite a bit wider. Other than that, everything else is the same. Slightly more horsepower, wide tyres, and this one I've put a front loader attachment on just so you can see. And obviously whatever attachments you want to put on the front there, that's entirely up to you. Next one along, we have got the Massey Ferguson 698. The 698 has got 88 horsepower. This one I've done with narrow tyres, narrow wheels, and the sunshade on the top. It's not, I said this with the tracked one, it's not pretty. I'm not, you know, it is what it is. It does what it does. It's a sunshade. Again, everything else is the same, slightly higher horsepower. Great details. There's something for everyone, something for all occasions, something for every bit of work you need to do. So the 698T. The 698T is 90 horsepower. This one I've put rear twins, and I've put the forestry, it's like a roof guard I guess, the forestry attachment on the top again, so you can kind of get a look. If you were dragging logs doing forestry, you'd need those twin wheels, plenty of traction, get yourself moving. Nice wide profile on the back of that. Brilliant. Really, really nice. And then last but by no means least in the lineup of non-cab Serie 600s, we've got the 699. This one's 95 horsepower, and this one I've done in two-wheel drive, and as you can see you've got your chunky knobbly traction tyres on the back. On the front, the smoother, slightly smaller, because they're providing no power and no grip. So this is the two-wheel drive option. That's the glaringly obvious difference, is that it hasn't got the usual chunky knobbly tyres at the front. Very, very nice mods. Nice tractors. Someone commented on one of my earlier guide twos on the Massey Ferguson pack. It's a pity you didn't go into more detail on the tractors. I'm going to be doing bits for everything, don't you worry about it. So that's the non-cab version of the Serie 600. So now we move on to the cab version. Now the cab version, as you might imagine, are identical, apart from the cab. That's about it. There are some extra work lights because you've got the cab on there. The engine sizes I've done the same. I've done the 675, I've done the 690, I've done the 698, the 698T and the 699. I've done the same configurations. I've got the two-wheel drive version, I've got the twin wheel version with the forestry guard on the top. I've done narrows, I've done wides, and I've done standard. And realistically there isn't really much else difference between the two. It comes down to what you prefer your tractor to look like. If you want to go old school without a cab, if you want it with cab for those inclement weather conditions. But with the cab comes something new, something brand new for consoles, and it is this. Let's jump in, start it up. And like I said, you've got your lights, you've got your rear lights, and you've got your main beam, which when you haven't got a cab you haven't got all of those. So your lights are obviously a different option. But what we also have is IC, interactive control, which has never ever happened on consoles. As far as I'm aware, this is new, and Blacksheep Modding have done a cracking job. There's not a huge amount, but what there is nice. It's a nice touch. So on the D-pad, on the PlayStation controller, if I do L1, R1 together, and then right joystick, if I do right joystick, left or right, I can open and close the door, which we've never had before. Very, very nice. And you can do it in increments, as slowly or as quickly as you want to do it, straight out, straight closed, or slowly in between. And if I go up and down on the D-pad, rear window, open and close for those hot days, or when the window's really, really dirty and you can't see and you just want to look out the back to check your linkage. So from inside, we've got our open and close, and the door, open and close. Very, very nice touch. Blacksheep Modding, hats off to you. That is awesome. On PC, they've had it, or you've had it if you're watching, if you're a PC gamer, for quite a while. But it's new. It's new, it's something different, it's something exciting. And there we go. That's pretty much it. They sound the same when they start up. You've got a bit more grunt as you go around on the different horsepowers, but then to be fair, going from, well, 66 up to 95 horsepower, 30 horsepower isn't a huge jump up. It's not like you're going from 66 to 150 or something like that. But they've all got their uses. Go big or go home. I would probably always go for the 699. You can never have too much power, can you? But there you go. That's it. The Massey Ferguson Serie 600 with cab, without cab, 5 engine sizes, different wheel configurations, interactive control. Great addition, brilliant on that mod pack, fantastic mod. If you haven't downloaded the mod pack, do it. If you don't like Massey Ferguson's, then obviously it's going to be that, well, I don't really know if I want to do it. They're great. I'm not a particularly huge Massey Ferguson fan, but you've got to appreciate the work that's gone into the mod pack. You've got to appreciate the detail and everything that goes with it. They are brilliant mods. So that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful, informative. You've got to see something, a few different configurations, the interactive control, all those kind of things. If you enjoyed it, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share the video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.